Okay, so here's the light switch I just took out. Here's a new switch that I'm going to put in. Yeah, it looks pretty much the same, doesn't it? Okay. Except the ground screw's over there. This one happens to be at the very bottom. And I'm going to have to look at this. There's a top and bottom to this. Okay, so I look on here, and usually I'll see it somewhere up here. If I don't see it on that end, I'll look over here. Let's see there. Right there where my finger is, it says top. See? And sometimes it'll say top there, or it'll say up there with the wire with an arrow going up. I know this is facing up because when I turn it on, I want the on up here, not down here. You can't tell which way is up and which way is backwards unless you look at this side thing, and that says top. Okay, that's my first thing I need to figure out. And I think I'm just going to put the screw. I think I'm going to put the wires just in the back. And see, there's a hole right up. Oh, where is it? There it is. Up there. And there's one. Well, there's one down at the bottom, I believe. I think it's right there. I'm gonna have to look at this. And there's the top one. Right up there. Okay. Then I don't have to use these side screws. Because I'm not going to use the side screws, I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to screw them in just to keep them out of the way. Those do not affect you being able to push that in through the back. Okay. I'm just going to tighten that up. And on most single pole light switches, it doesn't matter. Okay, just for here, there's a red and black. Does it matter? Does red go up here, or does it black, or does red go down here? It should not matter. Okay, most of the time it does not matter, and I'm going to just do it accordingly. Okay, so that screw there is for the ground. So, but I don't have to hold it up here and turn this and try to hold it up in there and stuff. I can just turn this upside down, put this on there, okay? And I could crimp that together if I had some wire strippers, and I got some wire strippers, see? And I could just crimp the end down, just so it's going the same direction. And so I know it's going to be tight. See, that's never going to come off. Like, I do the wire the same direction as the screws. Because I'm right-handed, I'm just going to put this in my left hand and tighten it up right there. Okay. And as I look at this, the top the ground wire now just happens to be up at the top. The last one, the ground wire is down at the bottom left. This time it's the top left, just because of how the screw was on here. Okay. But even if it was at the bottom, at this point, I could take it and flip it around like that or whatever. But it's going to go up like this. My next step is I'm just going to flip this around and poke the wires into the hole on the back side. And it's like a little V type thing in there. When you push it in there, it fits tight. You shouldn't be able to pull it back out. Okay? See there? I used the same ones. I didn't have to cut it. I didn't have to strip it at all because I had my little tiny screwdriver to put in the hole. This one has the same thing. If I wanted to, I could push that in there and pull it back out. You know, just to show you. I'm not going to do it. It's kind of tricky only because the slots nowadays are just a hair smaller than the other slots. I really have to cram it in there because even this screwdriver is almost too big for that. Okay, so I'm not going to mess with that. But if you didn't have that, I could have cut those off the old switch. I could have cut the wires off and then used my strippers, re-strip this, poked them back into the other ones if I couldn't get it. Or I could make the little curly Q on it and put them on the back side of these screws. Lots of times electricians do that because sometimes they don't trust the back. Sometimes this gets loose and they say, I don't want to do that. I know that if it's underneath this screw, it's never going to get loose. Like this ground wire, never going to get loose because I got it kinked on there and I've also got it screwed in. Okay, so I could have done that, but I didn't on this one. Maybe the next video when I do a light switch, I will. I never know what I'm going to do next on my videos. Keep watching, okay? Now the next step is I've got to get these wires into the box. How am I going to do that? Look how far they stick out. Okay, keep watching and I'll show you. Well, that's all I got for this time, but I'll be back with more videos. And if you like my channel, please subscribe.